Today we're going live inside the kitchen. Laura Kirtley is live at Peaceful Greens in Lafayette, breaking down misconceptions aplenty. Good morning, Laura.
Good morning, Joe. We are at Peaceful Greens. I'm joined by Tina Jansen, and we are going to make rabbit food this. It's going to sort of break down any misconceptions about, eating vegetarian food. It sounds like a real hearty meal, and we're going to start with making the basil pesto. And how do we do that?
Okay, so I'm going to make it in bulk, but we're going to start off with 3 cups of basil, fresh basil, that we try to get from our local farmers. My mother, bless her heart, brings us some basil every now and again. We're growing some basil as well. So you've got your basil, and we're putting in 2 cups of olive oil, 3 cups of basil. This is to make a nice big batch of it that will last a couple of weeks.
And it's something you can keep around. It stays,
Absolutely.
It preserves itself.
Yeah, the olive oil will preserve it. You don't even have to keep it in the fridge. I do suggest it if it's something that you're going to keep for a period of time. And then you've got a good amount of garlic, like 3 cloves of garlic in a big batch.
And you chop that up, or is it?
I just chop it a little bit because we're going to blend it, so it'll eventually mix up. And then we've got some sea salt and some black pepper. I've got a teaspoon of sea salt in here and about a half a teaspoon of the white pepper. White pepper rather than black pepper. It's just a little bit of a different flavor.
Okay.
Very tasty.
Does it smell the same, or is it?
Yeah, it smells peppery, but it's just got a little bit different kick to it. And then we're going to do I've been roasting these walnuts, and you just roast them dry, and it doesn't take long because they've already got oil. So you just roast your walnuts for about, 4 or 5 minutes, and we'll put those in there. Yeah. And that's it. And you can use any nut. That's what's so fantastic about the pesto. You could also add some shallots if you wanted to.
Okay.
But you can do pine nuts, you can do walnuts, you could do almonds, you could do pecans. You could also even do a blend, which is super, super yummy if you just want to mix several of them.
Okay, we're going to go ahead, and this needs to be mixed for about 7 minutes, you said?
Yeah, it takes a good 5 to 7 minutes to get it nice and blended, so it's something that takes a little bit of time. You just kind of want to turn it on and leave it.
Through the magic of TV, though, we're going to continue making the basil pesto. We'll come back. We'll finish making the rabbit food this, so stay tuned.
Amazing how much stuff goes into the rabbit food this, Laura.
Yeah, it is. It is. But it's all fresh, local food, and it smells delicious already.
Can't wait to see how it all comes together.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it, Laura. Have to wait and see.
Yeah.
Braving it all, Laura Kirtley joins us now live inside the kitchen from Peaceful Greens, part of our In the Kitchen segment. Pretty good-looking dish you're cooking up this morning, Laura.
Yeah, very bright, very colorful. You really can't beat it. But we're going to continue on with our rabbit food this recipe, and Tina Jansen's going to go ahead and finish making up the recipe here.
Okay, so we start off, we don't cook with oil here, and you really don't need to, especially with a vegetable dish. We're just going to start off with about a tablespoon of water, and we're going to add our garlic, a good clove, maybe half a clove, and about, 1/8 of a cup of onion, and just stir that up real good. Let it start to season.
And interesting that you're using water there. Is it just a matter of trying to steam the vegetables up, get the most nutrients out of it?
Well, yes. The thing with oil is if you overheat oil, you lose all the really good omegas, the good stuff out of it.
So good oils for your brain.
Right, exactly. Your heart and your brain. And if you do overcook the oil, it turns to trans fat, nasty fats. So it's just a good way to cook. And depending on how many vegetables you have is how much water. I mean, you can use 2 tablespoons, but the vegetables will actually produce some water themselves.
Okay.
So you don't need a lot. And then you just stir that up.
You have your portobello mushroom, you have your black olives. Are those artichoke?
Yes, we have quartered artichoke hearts, we have black olives, portobellos, and of course wonderful colored peppers from your local farmers. We get a lot of our stuff from Nature's Farm as well if we can't find them from the locals. And then we're just going to let that sit there and steam. And while I do that, I have got a wonderful grainy piece of Dakota bread from your local Great Harvest Bread Company. And I put some Gouda cheese on it.
Yes.
Which we are getting from our locals as well. And it's all raw and unpasteurized. And then we're going to let that sit in there and toast. You don't have to put cheese on it. If you don't like cheese, feel free to to go without, but it seems to be something that a lot of people like.
And this sandwich can be made vegan by just not having the cheese on it.
No cheese, yeah, and that's all there is to it. And then we're going to let the vegetables steam. We'll top the vegetables on top of your piece of bread, and we'll drizzle that yummy basil pesto on it.
And we went ahead and blended that up during the breaks, and we will be back plating the meal and sampling it. After this, we will be right back.
You're watching News Channel 18 this morning. News from where you live.
Welcome back. We're here in our final segment of In the Kitchen. We've been coming to you live all morning long from downtown Lafayette from Peaceful Greens. We've been making rabbit food this, and we're going to put the finishing touches on our open-faced veggie sandwich here. And that's just the basil that we mixed up.
This is the basil pesto, and we just kind of crisscross it across here. Nice and plentiful, and then we always make a pretty little ring around your plate so it looks pretty.
It's all about the presentation. And
Absolutely.
you say, eat it with a knife and fork.
Yes.
Okay.
This is one veggie sandwich you don't want to pick up.
And we have the Gouda cheese underneath it as well.
Which you can always get without.
Okay. And let's talk a little bit. Oh, actually, first I'll eat it. Good. Well, tell me a little bit about your new hours. Oh, that's really good.
We actually are opening every day at 9 o'clock, Monday through Friday, and then Saturdays and Sundays we open at 10. We're open until 6 o'clock during the weekday, Monday through Thursday, and then Fridays and Saturdays we're open until 9. And then Sunday we have a wonderful Sunday brunch. We're open until 5, but our Sunday brunch is from 10 to 3.
And this is almost tastes like a pizza in some ways. It's like a pizza without the marinara sauce.
It's just got so much good stuff in it, yeah.
And
you can do any vegetable. You know, you don't have to stick with what we used. You can do any vegetable with this.
And the idea here is to keep Peaceful Greens going. People need to be, coming in. You want local food, you got to be able to sustain it here.
Definitely. We need the community's support to keep us running. It's really about supporting your locals with the economy the way it is. We are carrying your local products, so you can support many local people by coming here and eating.
All right. Well, thank you for having us this morning. This is delicious.
You're welcome.
Some other things, you can get the mousse made with tofu.
Yes.
Okay.
Amazing homemade mousse, chocolate mousse. And that has a berry drizzle on it, and it's wonderful, and it's all homemade. And then it's got organic dark chocolate chips on it. Mm-hmm. And then we make our own granola, and we make all of our own muffins. All of our muffins, those are pear ginger muffins. And all of our muffins are also vegan. We have a great chocolate cake that we just happen to be out of. Mm-hmm. But we do sell it regularly, and it's also a vegan chocolate cake that will feed anyone.
Okay, well, thank you for having us again. Delicious. Really appreciate it. Send it back to you guys. Have a good morning, everybody.
Like a pizza.
It does taste like a pizza, almost like missing the marinara, but it's like you have the basil pesto, so it kind of is like the sauce. It's really good.
And jam-packed full of ingredients made by local folks. Laura, we appreciate it.
Yeah, keeping it local.
Yep. Thank you very much. Mm-hmm. Educational.
Oh, absolutely. It looks really good. I'm kind of, she needs to bring that on back.
Maybe. Weather forecast.